I'm super proud to be at Zero Density, who's been adopting our technology from day one. Hi everybody, that's my first time in a virtual environment, so I'm very happy to be here. I'm a product manager at Nvidia, and I'll cover some of the updates on our technology to power virtual production. First, let me shortly introduce what Nvidia is. I'm sure you're familiar with Nvidia, and we're coming from the graphics side, but we're actually much more than a graphics company. We have technologies, so we have graphics card, but we also have CPUs and even networking now. And we build on top of that solutions and even SDKs. And the only way we got successful is by finding developers that would adopt our platform. And I'm super proud to be at Zero Density, who's been adopting our technology from day one. On the product range, I wanted to cover a little bit of update on the GPU side. We just launched our latest Ada GPUs. So you can see the first one on the left is our Nvidia RTX 6000 Ada, which has been available since early this year. And we have that in a workstation shape or flavor, but we also have the flavor for servers that are fanless and then goes in servers. So Nvidia L40S is the equivalent of the 6000, and L4 is kind of the little sister of the 40S. We just announced at SIGGRAPH the little brothers and sisters of the 6000 ADAs, which are single slots. One is single slot, the 4000 ADA, and you have some intermediate step to go up to the highest burst GPU, which is the 6000 A. On the far right, we have a beast dedicated to AI. It's basically a GPU that's meant to train and infer very large language models, which is driving a significant business for Nvidia. So Ada, again, is our latest and greatest GPUs. We made significant improvements every time on the GPU. So on the graphics side, we have cores that are more efficient, and obviously you get crisper and faster graphics if you use the 6000 Ada in Zero Density. We have now on our GPU dedicated ray tracing core. These cores, they actually accelerate calculation or computation of ray tracing, which is essentially a light simulation process. It's been originally coming from the VFX movies, all the nice VFX rendering where ray trace, so that accelerates that, but it's been also integrated in a real-time engine like Unreal and the Reality Engine that integrates Unreal as well. So essentially, you can, on top of traditional 3D rendering, have realistic reflections and realistic shadows. The ray tracing part is about computing this light simulation and comes with noise. So we have actually some AI that's coupled with that. That comes to the next point. We have dedicated cores for AI that helps you process the AI faster. So, yeah, as I was mentioned, when you do ray tracing, there's some noise that comes to it. So to have nice, smooth shadow with no noise, we actually have some real-time denoiser that runs inside Reality Engine and Unreal. And last but not least, on these Ada GPUs, we added increased density for encoder. We have dedicated chipset to encode, decode video on the GPU. So on the RTX 6000 Ada, we have up to 3 encoders. If you look at advanced preview monitor from Zero Density, they're streaming the monitor preview over, as a H.264 HEVC format that's being done with the encoder. The benefit of having more encoders, you can do more stream, but also we have a technology that's called split frame, which enable you to encode twice faster by splitting frames. So you can go now up to 8K 60 HEVC or AV1 with a single GPU. We also have networking technology. So 4 years ago, we acquired Mellanox, and so we have networking cards that comes in 2 flavors. The ConnectX, we just announced the latest ConnectX 7, which comes with 200 gigabit ports, and the Bluefield, which we call DPU for data processor units. These DPUs are networking cards with Army cores, and it helps you process some interesting things specifically for broadcast. In the broadcast world, getting accurate PTP, for example, running the PTP on the networking card. And as part of the technology we provide on the networking side is technology called RhythmX. And RhythmX is essentially a software technology that's integrated in a lot of the product on the market, and obviously working with Zero Density to get there as well. It's been integrated in Unreal as well recently for virtual production. But essentially, RhythmX is a software solution that gets the best out of the networking card. It lowers the CPU cycles and allows you to send very high bandwidth video uncompressed without using too much of CPU. And obviously it helps you also being ST2110 compliant, so the standard to over IPs and uncompressed video, but in the right manner. So as I mentioned, we coupled that with the DPU, where you can run your PTP on the networking card and have very accurate hardware PTP, even on a Windows machine or on virtualized environments. So that could be super interesting when you will be running Unreal or zero density with 2110 output and you want to be PTP synchronized or PTP locked. And obviously all of this technology it can be virtualized. If you look at RiverMax, it's been integrating one in the industry. We have a plugin strategy and a SDK strategy. We're basically providing solutions for partners to integrate. So it's been recently integrated in Unreal for virtual production. So you can basically do your entire virtual production set with ST2110 today, which is kind of cool. It's been integrated in Drastic TV plugins as well, with building plugins for video editor like Adobe Premiere, Blackmatching, DaVinci Resolve, or Avid Media Composer. And we just announced a product called RiverMax Display at the beginning of IBC under early access. It's essentially just a product we're building where you install it on your machine and you can create Windows displays that are attached over ST2110. So basically when you have a professional GPU, you can have 4 outputs that are typically DisplayPort. You could replace them by 4 ST2110 elements that could be driving a wall, for example. We really think that the path forward is to have RiverMax integrating own solutions like zero density. But this product could solve all the means like outputting content over the network. It could be anything running on Windows ready, the PowerPoint presentation, Google Mac, whatever. And we also have an SDK strategy, which is integrating RiverMax into our other SDK. We have an SDK called DidStream, where you can easily code. It's based on GStreamers, very low code. If you want to test AI processing coupled with RiverMax, that's the goal. But we announced also a new platform again at IBC called Holoscan for Media. And the idea is to help developing new applications based on containers that will apply for TV broadcasters. So these are the 2 main announcements we made at IBC this year, and that would apply, we'll see, also to virtual production sets.